Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 5. Sorry about the hat. I cannot get a haircut. I'd imagine some of you have the same problem. Okay. You're doing really well in your class now. Number one problem, do your analysis of the references better. Some of you are doing quite well. I already did a video on how to find valid references, such as National Institute of Health, American Psychological Association, Department of Justice, major newspapers like the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, things of this nature. Now, some of you are saying things like, this is how I feel, this is how I was raised. We're all at the mercy of our emotions. It's fine in your papers and discussion to say, well, this is how I feel, this is how I was raised, but then you have to back it up with facts. If you say, hey, I believe in capital punishment, fine. But if you only go to resources where people agree with your opinion, well, the capital punishment advocates say this, and this radio star says that, and this is what they say. Find statistics from the Department of Justice. Find statistics from the FBI. Find articles from the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the National Institute of Health, and medical journals have even talked about this. So you have to find valid references, .govs, .orgs, universities. Okay? Don't be at the mercy of your emotions. You can control your emotions, but don't let your emotions control you. Okay? That's the main thing. And respond more to your peers. Some of you are doing a great job. Some of you could do a little bit more in the discussion post. Let's move on. This is the assignment right there in Blackboard. It says 1 to 2 pages. If you want an A, write 2 or more pages. Have at least a few references, folks, APA style. But the main thing is you're going to find an ad and you're going to dissect it. Some ads are honest, some are dishonest. Some ads are effective, some are not effective. What is an ad? It would be nice to know what an ad is before you choose one. What is an advertisement? What would you say an advertisement is? What's your definition? Okay, now let's move on. The 7 musts of marketing. When I was working for Chet Holmes, God rest his soul, he was the #1 business coach in the world. He has a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine. It was on the New York Times bestseller list. Chet Holmes trained more Fortune 500 companies than I think just about anybody. He talked about the core advertising marketing strategies: personal contact, direct mail, internet presence, brochures, media advertising, public relations, and prospect education. What do those things mean? Well, let's go through them very quickly. Okay, so direct mail. That's exactly what it is. It's mail you get in the mailbox. It's not email, okay? And there is a science to it, all right? You can see some of the types of things that would make a mail valid. So if you're dissecting a mail ad, which is fine, look, is there a greeting card? Is there an invitation? Is there lots of colors? Is there a message right on the envelope so the recipient is eager to open it up? For instance, the 5 biggest secrets to saving 50% of your money. The 5 biggest secrets to losing 20 pounds in 3 months. The 5 biggest mistakes that parents make with their children. The 8 biggest dangers of the coronavirus that you do not know. Would any one of these make you open the envelope? Maybe, maybe not. But that's something for you to decide. Is there, if you're dissecting a mail message, is there a title that would entice you to read it further? And that's basically what a core story is. A core story is, here are the secrets. Here's what I'm saying to you. Do they have a riveting story about their product, their service, their people? Is there a deadline? In order to receive this, you have to act within 2 days or what have you. Call this number now. You want a sense of urgency. So if you're doing a direct mail kind of dissection, these are the things you'd want to be looking for. Banner ads in internet marketing. We see them all the time. Once again, do they have numbers? Is it a compelling message? Do they have a good core story? Once again, a core story, it makes you feel like that they're solving a problem. Oh, I have a problem with my sore back. Do you believe the core story of the ad that they would be able to help you? Is the ad honest? Do you believe it? Or are they lying to you? Advertisers lying? Never. Politicians lying? Oh, come on, Todd. Give me a break. So these are the kind of things you want to look for in a banner ad or internet marketing to see if you think it is effective. Is the phone number there easy to call? By the way, photographs of faces are far, far more effective than any other kind of photograph. When was the last time you saw a magazine that didn't have a face on the cover? Once in a while it does. I forget which year it was, but one year Time Magazine made the computer the person of the year. One of the few times that Time Magazine didn't have a photograph of a person. Nearly 100% of the time. Popular magazines have a picture of a face. In a study, monkeys could choose to look at a picture of an attractive monkey or eat. They chose to look at the picture of the attractive monkey. Not a joke. That happened. It's biological. We like faces, especially good-looking faces. Like this one. No, just kidding. Okay, moving on. The brochure. So, what's in an effective brochure? If you're dissecting a brochure, does it again have a compelling message? Would you open up the brochure with the title? Would you do that? Does it have pictures of people? Is it easy to contact these folks? Okay? So, dissecting it exactly the same way as a banner or mail. I think you're beginning to see the theme here. Okay? PR with news articles. So that could be, an interview. Believe it or not, that is a form of advertising. Okay? What? What are you talking about? Let's say some movie star is doing an interview on a talk show and they're talking about their movie. Let's say a CEO who sells diamonds to companies, to Tiffany's and all these other jewelry shops around the country, because he's a wholesaler, he might go to a trade show. He might present to 500 companies at once. That is an advertisement. Somebody might do a news article interview with the Washington Post. So that is a form of advertising, and if you want to dissect that, no problem. I have no problem with that. Hey, Todd, I saw a movie star promoting his or her film the other day on such and such network. That's an advertisement. Absolutely. Very, very effective advertising at that. Okay. Website. Okay. Let's get into websites. So here's some things about websites. They're saying that here's how things can be helped by a website that will help you get your name out there. People using these kinds of services, whether it's napsinfo.com, helpreporterout.com, so on and so forth, newsroom at Dow Jones. These are just examples of what website designers and corporations sometimes look at to make an effective website. Let me give you some others. Does the website have a compelling video that automatically plays? Is the phone number easy to find? How many times have you guys been on a website, you want to call the company, you can't find the phone number? Dude, I wanted to buy your service, but I had to click 4 times. 80% of people don't scroll down on a website. They want to see the information right there. Is there a call to action? For instance, click here to get 20% off. Start looking at the website. Did it compel you to buy something? Was it easy? Was it friendly? Was there commercial? Do you know what this website's about? Is the website honest? Okay, moving on. Again, editorials and articles. This isn't necessarily an interview. Talked about earlier an interview. You could do an interview with Time Magazine, but you could also have an article written about you. Or you can write an article yourself. Bill Gates, CEO of Microsoft, writes article about how technology can help stop the coronavirus. CEO of Facebook. Maybe he doesn't write the article. Maybe somebody wrote an article about Mark Zuckerberg. It wasn't an interview. It was simply an article about him, about his services, about what Facebook can do for businesses. Maybe Inc. magazine or the Los Angeles Business Journal, which they have, writes an article about Facebook and how Facebook has been able to enhance the small business awareness. Very effective advertising. Maybe they didn't even speak to Mark Zuckerberg. They just spoke to his PR people, but they gave him the information. They wrote an article. I'm an LA business owner. I'm reading it. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize Facebook can do A, B, C, and D for my business. I think I'm going to log on, buy some of their services. Very effective. You want to dissect an article? Be my guest. Okay? So, other PR activities, charities, movies, sports events, award shows. So when a business owner decides, hey, I'll do a little blurb in a movie, you better believe that's effective. Dr. Phil, of all people, was in a parody of horror films. It was one of those scary movies. I forget which one he was in. You know, he was being silly. But Dr. Phil is in that film making fun of himself and making fun of, you know, horror films, being very, very silly. Does that help his image? Does that help his show? Absolutely. Teenagers who, I've heard of Dr. Phil. I didn't know he was funny. I didn't know he was hip. I never thought about watching Dr. Phil's show, but he seems like he's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, maybe I'll check him out. Charities. It's wonderful that all these celebrities are doing the charity work that they are with the coronavirus, and they do it with other things as well. Does charity enhance a corporate's interests? Absolutely. Let's say you have some of these restaurants, which they have done, free lunch for the entire country, whether it's Denny's or IHOP or some other restaurant like that, says on this day, everybody gets a free lunch. And the news media goes berserk. It cost Denny's or IHOP $2 million in that day alone to get people a free lunch. They got $20 million worth of advertising because the whole media was talking about it. So, charity will increase profits, as well as it's a wonderful thing to do. So, if you want to say, hey, Todd, I'm going to dissect that advertising strategy. This corporation, this person associates themselves with this charity in this way. Is it effective? Absolutely. Moving on. TV, radio. They are two very different mediums, but Chet Holmes kind of clumps them together. Can a person absorb 500 words in a minute? I think it's pretty tough for you guys to absorb, these videos that I make, but we live in so much, crunch time that can we absorb it all? Is the commercial effective? Does it prompt you? Does it seem honest? Does it give you the information that you need? Would it cause you to purchase the product? One of the most famous commercials, and you could watch it on YouTube, I'm not going to show it to you here because of time, was an Apple commercial during the Super Bowl. You just type in famous Apple commercial Super Bowl, it'll show it to you. And it's become one of the most popular commercials ever. Highly discussed. Here's the problem. Didn't really increase sales that much. More and more studies are showing that a commercial during the Super Bowl doesn't really get a return on the investment. And I know you're thinking, but why? Everybody watches the Super Bowl. Why wouldn't that work? Well, number one, Super Bowl commercials are so expensive, number one. And then they don't show the commercial over and over and over and over and over again for months because they've already spent all that money on that one time for the Super Bowl. Also, when people are watching the Super Bowl, you're competing with all these other companies and your mind is on the Super Bowl, your mind's on the game. So we have found that commercials that show consistently over and over and over again during just normal TV hours tend to be more effective. You have to send a message over and over and over and over again before it gets through. You will notice in my classes, I will sometimes say the same thing over and over again. Is it because I'm losing my memory? Maybe. I'm getting older. Or is it because I understand that if I say something seven, eight, and Tony Robbins is saying, hey, you need to now send a message 12 times before people get it. For instance, valid references, don't be emotional. Valid references, don't be emotional. If Dr. Eller says that one more time, shut up. But, I learned from Dr. Eller's class, I need to be in control of my emotions and look at the facts. Even if I was raised a certain way, even if I'm a diehard Republican or a diehard Democrat. I've learned that when it comes to political issues and religious issues, sometimes our intellectual brain shuts off. And I need to be careful about that. If you just learned that in my class, hey, at least I accomplished something. So, radio and TV, they have to do the same thing. But the content of the commercial has to get right to the heart that you believe it, is it valid, and would you give them a call? Would you purchase their service based on that commercial? Does it solve a problem? Capturing leads at a trade show. I'm sure you may have been to Vegas and other conventions. You walk around, people are presenting. You walk around the mall. Hey, would you like to try this perfume? Would you like to try this? That's an advertisement. You can dissect that if you want to. Is what the person is saying cause you to purchase? 99% of the time, if I'm walking at the mall and somebody says, would you like to try so-and-so? I'm like, oh, please, I understand you're trying to make a living, but I just want to go to GNC and get my vitamins and go home. Dissect that. What is it they need to say in order to get you to purchase? Finally, you're in the hot seat. 7 marketing strategies. Could you name them? And 50% of all purchases is motivated by ads. What do you think motivates the other 50%? It is word of mouth. Now, maybe the ads cause the word of mouth, but the number one thing I think, maybe even more 50%, is word of mouth. I went to Myrtle Beach with my parents when I was a kid. For some crazy reason, I wanted to eat pizza on my birthday. At Myrtle Beach, you think I'd want to get seafood, but I was a kid. Okay, Todd, we'll take you to get some pizza. We went to Pizza Hut, walking towards that restaurant. As we're walking there, me being very excited, I'm going to get my pizza, this family says, don't go there, don't go there. Go to this Italian restaurant right here. It's much, much better. To my disappointment, my parents said, oh, let's try this place. You've convinced us. They built an Italian restaurant right next to Pizza Hut. Pretty gutsy. At Myrtle Beach. We go into the restaurant. I'm pouting. The owner of the restaurant comes out and says, I'm Italian. This is an old Italian recipe that's been handed down for generations about our pizza. We make the sauce and the dough in-house. The cheese is imported from Italy. And we hope that you will tell your friends and family about us. And please let us know if there's anything we can do to improve our recipe. Best damn pizza I've ever had. And you know how picky kids are. Word of mouth. Word of mouth. If there's a word of mouth kind of advertisement that you've heard of or you've seen it, they're actually now, believe it or not, they're hiring actors to go into bars in Los Angeles and promote a product. Say, don't tell us that you're working for us. Just start talking about our product to people in the bar. Pretend that you're just there. Hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. What do you got there? Oh, I got this, new iWatch. It's really cool. This new app here. You want to see? They're hiring people to do this, to create word of mouth. So any one of these ads you want to dissect, that's fine. But look at it. Now, what I really like to know is, again, have some references, folks. Let me know if it's an honest ad. Let me know if it was effective. Is there any statistics to show that it actually increased sales? And how you would improve the ad if you think it should be improved. Critically think. All right? All right, guys. Now, you have any questions, call me, email me, include that you are in this critical class in your message. I have other classes if you don't mind. Guys, we're starting to open things up now, so keep wearing your masks, keep wearing your gloves. Stay safe. I hope you watch the other videos on how to stay safe. God bless.